If your playing is full of mistakes you can't fix, or you've hit a wall and you stopped getting better, it's not because you've reached your limit. It's because your practice is totally whack. YouTube is a mess of random tips, but without understanding how your brain actually learns, you're just practicing how to be bad. My goal today is to fix that. I'm going to show you the fundamental rules of how practice works so you can stop guessing and start improving at lightning speed. We're going to turn those rules into a simple, easy way to practice that works every single time. And to make sure you never fall back into those old habits, I've created a free PDF called the Fast Track Practice Guide, a guide you can print out and keep on your piano to keep reminding you to learn songs as fast as possible. You can grab it for free at the link in the description. So let's dive in. Piano is a motor skill. It's just like learning how to ride a bike or do a backflip. Your brain learns these things by building muscle memory. Every time you play a bar of music, you are saving that movement in your brain. If you play it correctly, you get a tiny bit better. But here's the trap. If you make a mistake, you're saving that mistake too. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a good note and a bad note. It just remembers what you did. So let me say that again because this is really important. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a good note and a bad note. It just remembers what you did. So here is rule number 1. Make fewer mistakes. Think of your practice like a GPS. When you play the notes correctly, even if very slowly, you're on the fastest route to your destination. But watch what happens when I gamble and rush. See that? My brain just took a wrong turn. I didn't just mess up, I added 25 minutes of driving to my life. Because now the brain has to stop, recalculate, and try to find the right road again. If I keep doing that, now I'm miles off my original course. I'm literally practicing how to be bad. This is how a one-time slip-up turns into a bad habit that is hard to fix. You aren't stuck, you're just lost in the woods because you keep taking wrong turns. If you want to learn as fast as humanly possible, you have to stop the loop. You have to stay on the original path. And the only way to do that is to practice very slowly and correctly. Even if I'm moving at a snail's pace, I'm still moving toward my destination. Every perfect rep, no matter how slow, is a straight line to success. Once the road is clear, I can start to speed up. Now I'm not recalculating anymore. I'm just driving smoothly and getting closer to my destination. I've built a clean, fast road in my brain, and the music just flows. So to summarize this rule of make fewer mistakes, you will do that if you practice so slowly that you cannot get it wrong, even if it's at a snail's pace. You might feel like you're driving 1 mile per hour on your journey, but you're still going in the right direction and not recalculating. This brings me to my next point, but of course, you aren't a robot. You will make mistakes. The way you handle those mistakes, though, is the difference between a pro and a quitter. Most people play the song, then play through the mistake and keep playing it incorrectly because honestly, they're too lazy to fix it and it's not really fun to focus in and fix the mistake. But remember the GPS. If you play the song, play the mistake, and keep passing through it incorrectly, you just took a wrong turn and now you have a flat tire. If you keep driving on a flat tire, you aren't just moving slower, you're destroying the car. This is a huge thing students do, so I'm going to emphasize it again. Most students will go back to the very beginning of the song, play the whole thing again, hit that same flat tire spot, and just keep rolling on the rim. So that is rule number 2. Fix every mistake immediately. You have to park the car, you have to stop exactly where the mistake happened and repair it. You don't move an inch until that one bar in your song that you keep messing up is fixed. Why? Because you need to overwrite the bad memory you just saved into your muscle memory. If you do not follow this advice, you will wire in the mistake so deeply in your brain. Now it's way harder to learn that section. You are unwiring bad habits and rewiring new ones, when you could have just learned it correctly from the jump and fixed it immediately. It's like cleaning up a spill the second it happens instead of letting it stain the carpet. It feels like a pain in the neck to stop, but I promise you, fixing that flat now takes 30 seconds. Stop the stain before it sets. Repair the tire before you drive another mile. And don't forget, I've created a free PDF called the Fast Track Practice Guide, a guide you can print out and keep on your piano to keep reminding you about these rules so you can learn your songs fast. You can grab it for free at the link in the description. And if you want to avoid those mistakes as much as possible in the first place, you need to follow rule number 3, the microchunk rule. Think about how you'd study for a history test. You wouldn't just read the entire 50-page chapter over and over and hope you remember it. You'd fail. Instead, you'd focus on one small section at a time, like the causes of a specific war, and you don't move on until you actually know it and understand it. Piano is exactly the same. Most students try to learn by playing both hands start to finish, and it's just a mess. Instead, you need to narrow your focus into micro chunks. I'm talking it could be just one line of the song, just the right hand, just the left hand, 2 measures, and sometimes even just 1 measure. Inside this tiny microchunk section, you're going to apply the first 2 rules we already talked about. You're going to play it slowly, rule number 1, to ensure 0 mistakes. And if you do hit a flat tire, you're going to fix it immediately, which is rule number 2. Here's why this builds muscle memory so much faster. Your brain is like a computer saving a file. If you try to save a massive 4-hour movie all at once, the file often gets corrupted or takes forever to download. But a tiny 5-second clip, that saves instantly. So when you practice a microchunk, you're giving your brain a file it can actually handle. Because that section is so small, you can play it correctly very quickly. That repetition is what thickens the memory in your brain. You aren't just playing, you're literally hardwiring the music into your hands. It's like a stoplight. You're going to stay right here for a second until the light turns green. You don't move an inch until that tiny chunk is so easy it's actually boring. Once that file is saved, move to the next one, and then you stitch them together. When you learn in micro chunks, you aren't guessing anymore. You're building a song that is impossible to break. Now, if you want to make the whole process even faster, you need to stop starting your songs cold. I call this rule number 4, preload the neighborhood. Most people sit down, open their music, and start trying to learn notes or chords they've never seen before. That is the hardest way to learn. It's like trying to drive through a brand new city without looking at a map first. You're going to get lost, and your GPS is going to be recalculating every 5 seconds. Instead, you should spend 2 minutes mapping the neighborhood with the exact DNA of the song you're about to play. What this means is the warm-up to your practice routine is going to connect to the song you're playing. If your song is in the key of G, warm up with the G major scale. Now your fingers already know the neighborhood. They know which notes are allowed and which ones are off limits. You've already preloaded the road before you start driving. If a song uses a specific set of chords like C, G, A minor, F, you should play those chords up and down the keyboard first. I call this the chord ladder. For example, if you're going to practice C major, the chord ladder would go like this. I'm going to play C major in both hands and warm up like this. Or if I'm practicing G major, it would look the same, but on G major. Why does this work? Because when you finally start the actual song, nothing feels new. Your brain recognizes the shapes and sounds because you just spent 2 minutes preloading them into your hands. So warm up with the scales and the chords that relate to the song you're about to practice. Now, none of these rules matter if you're driving the wrong car on the wrong road. So I call this rule number 5, stay in the Goldilocks zone. Most people pick songs that are way too hard for them. They think they're being ambitious, but they're actually just being slow. If you're hitting a flat tire every 2 measures, you aren't learning. You're just crashing. Your GPS can't even load the map because you're trying to drive off a cliff. You need to find the Goldilocks zone. This is the sweet spot where the music is slightly challenging, but you can still play it perfectly if you slow it down. It should feel a little bit uncomfortable, but not impossible. When you stay in the Goldilocks zone, your brain stays in the green light mode. You're driving on the roads without crashing the car. That is how you improve consistently every single day. And here's the secret that ties every single rule we've talked about together. You don't actually entirely get better while you're sitting at the keys. You also get better while you're asleep. Think about it. If you follow these rules when you practice, 1, make fewer mistakes, 2, fix every mistake immediately, and 3, practice in micro chunks, you have wired in muscle memory correctly. Now when you're asleep, it's wiring it in even more. And by the way, again, this is why following those rules is so important, because if you practice mistakes, then you wire that in your sleep too. When I was in music school, I had to practice 4 hours a day. Sometimes I would get stuck on one single measure. I'd play it over and over, and I just couldn't get it any better. I used to get frustrated, but then I learned the secret. I realized that I had reached the limit of what my brain could process for that day. I'd literally say out loud, "I'll sleep on it," and I'd move on. The next morning, I would sit down and play that exact same section massively better. It felt like magic, but it was just biology. My brain had spent the night hardwiring the movements I showed it during the day. But this only works if you give your brain the right data. If you play with mistakes, your brain ingrains those mistakes. If you play in microchunks and get it right, your brain ingrains the success. This is why you need to show up every day. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, you need to give your brain a fresh map to work on every single night. So overall, practice correctly, then go to bed and get some good sleep. So there you have it. The issue is not that you have no talent, it's that you haven't been practicing correctly. If you follow these rules and keep them close to your heart, you will make progress significantly faster. And don't forget, I created a free PDF called the Fast Track Practice Guide, a guide you can print out and keep on your piano to keep reminding you about these rules so you can learn your songs fast. You can grab it for free at the link in the description. Up next, I recommend watching this video. It'll show you ways to learn songs even faster with chords and lead sheets, just like hotel pianists. So check it out here. And if this video helped you, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.